we're gonna study the book of Daniel, chapter 9. There's a 70-week prophecy here given by the angel Gabriel. That this is when during Israel's exile to Babylon, right? And Daniel is giving supplication for his people, and he's visited by the angel Gabriel. And Gabriel gives him a prophetic timeline. He literally tells Daniel, very encoded, the year that the Messiah will come. So Gabriel comes to Daniel. "O Daniel, I have now come to give you insight and understanding. At the beginning of your pleas for mercy, a word went out, and I have come to tell it to you, for you are greatly loved. Therefore consider the word and understand the vision. 70 weeks are decreed upon your people and your holy city, to finish transgression, to put an end to sin, and to atone for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal both vision and prophet, and to anoint a most holy place. Know therefore and understand that from the going out of the word to restore and build Jerusalem, to the coming of the Anointed One, a prince, there shall be 7 weeks, and for 42 weeks it shall be built again, with squares and moats, but in a troubled time. And after the 62 weeks, an Anointed One shall be cut off, and shall have nothing. And the people of the prince who is to come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. Its end shall come with a flood, and to the end there shall be war. Desolations are decreed." And now here we talk about the 70th week, the last week. "And he shall make a strong covenant with many for 1 week, and for the half of the week he shall put an end to sacrifice and offering, and on the wing of abomination shall come one who makes desolate until the decree is poured out on the desolator." Okay, it's a mouthful. Um, this this study, we're going to study the first 69 weeks, okay? Because this is the timeline for the Messiah to come. So let's I have it all written out here so we can make this simple. Um, so first thing to understand is these 70 weeks, it's a day for a year principle. It's a year for a day principle, okay? This is very common belief amongst Jews and Christians alike. And, you know, for example, here, Rabbi Rashi uh, agrees, right? 70 weeks of years have been decreed on Jerusalem, the day of the first destruction. Okay, so what does that mean? Every day in this 70-week prophecy is 1 year. So when we're talking about the first 69 weeks, 69 times 7 is 483 years. Okay, next to understand is a prophetical year. This is important, okay? Um, in a prophetical year, there is 360 days in a year, and I'm going to show you evidence for this. First, we have the flood in Genesis. Okay, the flood begins the second month, 17th day. Ark rests 7th month, 17th day. 5 months. However, the text says the waters prevailed for 150 days. What's that mean? That means in this timeline, there were 30 days a month, 30 days for every month, which would be 360 days a year. Okay. Um, we could kind of see there's references throughout the Bible for given prophecies where it says, this shall happen for time, times, and half a time. And it's very well understood and agreed throughout scholars, and it even says it in particular places like Revelation, uh, that this period of time is 3.5 years, and also specifically says 1260 days, like in Revelation. Um, right here, 3.5 years. It represents 3.5 years, frequently equivalent to 1260 days or 42 months. Um, You can see that in Revelation. There's references to that where John is very specific on the exact number of days being 1260. So we got 360 days a year for a prophetical year. Okay. Okay. So I hope you're still with me. So another thing, we need to find the starting point. The starting point, according to Gabriel, is the going out of the word to restore and build Jerusalem. Okay, this is very highly debated, but I'm going to tell you why I believe what I believe here. We're going to go to, I'm doing some editing because I am messing this video up. Okay. Here we go. So there's some I want to say before this time there was some word given decrees given by King Cyrus to go and rebuild, and people use this starting point. However, it's not accurate because that was involved with rebuilding the temple and not the city itself, as Gabriel says. And also there were a few letters sent out by Artaxerxes here to restore, but none of them bore any fruit. Okay, so this is where King Artaxerxes gives the decree and allows the Jews to go back and rebuild the city, the walls, the streets, etc. In Nehemiah 2. Um, I'm gonna kind of let you read about that if you want. I'm just gonna focus here on, well, it's the 20th year of King Artaxerxes. All right, and history tells us that that is the year 445 BC. What is the 20th year? When did King Xerxes reign? 465 BC. Nehemiah 2. This occurred in the 20th year of his reign. So 20 years after 465 BC, which brings us to 445 BC. That is our starting point. Okay, let's move along here. They didn't have our Gregorian solar calendar back in Daniel's time, okay? And our timeline, 445 BC, Jesus was crucified in 32 AD. These are this is our Gregorian calendar, our solar calendar. So we're going to convert prophetical years to solar years, okay? To figure this out. I hope that makes sense. Um, so one Gregorian year, 365.2425 days. All right. And this is not lunisolar prophetic years. So how many days are in 483 prophetical years? Here you go. 173,880 days. So now let's convert this to solar years. Okay. Divide this number by solar years to get the conversion. 476 years. Okay. Come on, we'll just 476 solar years. From 445 BC, right? So to get to year one from 445 BC, that's 445 years. From year one, we need to add 31 more years to get our target, right, for this prophecy. So from year one, add 31 more years, we get to 32 AD. Now, did anybody claim to be the Messiah in 32 AD? Man, this is the year Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey and claimed to be the Son of God. He claimed to be the Messiah, and he was killed for it by the high priest of his time. He took the sins of the world and conquered death. God raised him from the grave after 3 days, just like he said he would. This text, this book of Daniel, is in the Jewish Tanakh, right? It's unaltered. We have the Septuagint, which was written a few hundred years before Jesus' time. It was a translation of the Hebrew Bible into Greek.